Hi students and welcome to this live IELTS International English Language Testing System class for part 2 of speaking, the cue card. My name is Adrian and I am streaming this lesson to you live from Central Europe here in Hungary near the Danube. I hope everybody is having or has had a great week thus far and looking forward to a great weekend ahead. Hi, Lovepreet. Hi, Harman. Good to see some students in class on time. This lesson, strategies, materials, they are brought to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS software, exams, and videos. For general IELTS videos, software, and practice exams, check us out at IELTShelp.com. That's the general version of the website, specifically designed to help those who are sitting the general module. The general website looks like this with the green background. Click that big red button to join us there. And the academic one looks like this with the blue background. Click that big red button to join us there. Lots more students. Hi, Mariam. Hi, Amina. Hi, Hung, Smit, Amarjeet, Pachu. Satisfying times. Always enjoy reading your name. It's a smile on my face. All right, let's get back on target here. If you have a question, send me an email to Adrian, A-D-R-I-A-N, at aehelp.com. If you are looking for the exams that we use in these classes, for the digital or paperback versions, you can find them on Amazon as well in your Amazon bookstore. Just search for AE Helps Academic, IELTS, or GE Helps General. Okay, everyone, so today, speaking part 2. Tomorrow for members, we'll look at some key strategies. And then part 3, speaking for everyone, that's tomorrow. Today, speaking part 2. Here is our cue card question for this class. Part 2, talk about an object that you own which needs training to use. You should say, what is this object? What do you use it for? Where did you get it? What kind of training does it need? And what is the best place to learn this skill? Kartik, just send me an email and I'll reply to you later today, okay? If you're having some payment issues. All right. So, students, you will have 1 to 2 minutes to talk about this topic. Part 2 cue card, it comes after the first 4 or 5 minutes in the speaking interview. So, Part 2 is fairly different than what most people are used to. It does take practice and training to do a good job, even for a native speaker. Okay, most people do not hold little mini speeches or elevator pitches every day on these kinds of topics. So remember, cue card questions demand practice to master. You should practice this often before you sit the exam. Okay? So, when you get a part 2 cue card here, what do you need to do? What's the first step in your thinking? So the examiner says that is the end of part 1. Now we will continue with part 2. For part 2, here's a card with some questions. Here's some note paper. And here's a pen. You will have 1 minute to look at the questions, think about your answer, take notes if you wish. Then you will have 2 minutes to speak. I will tell you when to start and when to stop. You turn it over. What do you do first? Satisfying Time says, step number 1, just read it carefully. Yeah. Absolutely. Don't rush. Okay. So you're right, satisfying times. That's a good step one. So step one, and it sounds intuitive. It sounds like, yeah, okay, of course, read it carefully. But a lot of students still rush through the reading and don't pay careful enough attention. So step one, read the card carefully, paying attention to details. For example, take note of the topic and the number of questions you are answering. Okay? And think about the specific topic when you're looking at the topic, and the controlling ideas or the questions. So that's definitely step one. So Amarjeet says, yeah, understand the cue card. So when you're reading it, yeah, visualize it. So that's Pachu says visualize it. What's the topic here? What is the topic in this case? Here's the cue card again. What is the topic? What are we talking about? Hung says, recognize it's an object. You're right, but it's even more than that here. So we're going to realize that in a moment, Hung. So you're thinking right. The topic is not just an object. Always focus on the specific object. It's not a thing, Lovepreet. A thing is more broad. Hung says an object that needs training to be used. Kind of, yeah. I still don't see it yet. What is the topic here? An object that you can use, okay. Amarjeet says an object which learns to own. Vanity Sean, very good. Vanity Sean, often providing us with some very clever answers. Yeah, vanity. Simply put, it's an object that you own. Okay. And the controlling idea is it needs training to use and the other questions. Okay, so careful again. If you talk about an object, okay, let's say you have really good English skills, students, and you talk about an object that needs training to use, like let's say you talk about the piano, and you're like, the piano is an object that needs training to use. You use it for entertaining people, playing beautiful music. Where did I get it? I don't know. You can get it at the music store and learn it from a music teacher. Even if you speak with good English, you will not get a good band score, because if you're not talking about it as an object that you own, then your band score will go down. So you have to be really careful. Sumit Karlar, pay careful attention, and good luck on your August 1st exam. I'll keep my fingers crossed for you, Sumit. Okay, so pay careful attention to this class. It could save you some marks. So topic, it's not just an object, it's an object that you know. Now, Hung, one of our members, said, of course, identify that it's an object. So when you are talking about an object, what do you have to pay attention to? If I want to describe an object to another person, what points do I need to consider? But Chu says I have to think about its appearance. So what does it actually look like? Yeah. Remember, humans are visual. We see the world. Here's me looking at you. So yeah, definitely we're visual. We like to picture what the person's talking about. So it's good to describe it. So if you're talking about the piano, you have to say it's very large. It's got an interesting kind of kidney shape to it. It's got a nice black shiny, glossy paint. Okay. So definitely, definitely describe what it looks like. Okay. So now Mohammed Farak says you have to talk about its function. Yeah, absolutely. So what is it used for? So when you're talking about an object, its appearance, its function, so how is it used? What is it used for? Kuram says cost, not necessarily. Amarjit says where you get it from, so it's origin. Yeah. Where do you get it from? Okay, absolutely. So appearance, function, origin. Characteristics, I'm not too sure of, Amar Al-Hajj, because that's very general. Okay. Cigar, new pain, history would be its origin, like where you bought it from or somebody gifted it to you. Satisfying times says its benefits. Another way to think about that a little bit more clearly, satisfying times, is its importance. Okay, so that's the clearest way to conceptualize or think about an object. Think about its appearance, think about its function, its origin, and its importance. Importance to you, importance to society. Okay. Roshni, when it's used as part of its function. Okay, Roshni Kunte. All right. So, sounds good. We're ready to move forward. Okay, this is all happening very quickly. So, this step number 1, reading the card carefully, paying attention to details, understanding that we're talking about an object, that the controlling idea is that you need training to use it. You have to think about these elements. That all happens very quickly. That should only take you a few seconds to do. Now, what do we do after that? So what's my next step? What's step number 2? So step 1, we read the card carefully. We figure out that it's an object that we own, the topic. Cigar New Pain says make notes. But Cigar, make notes about what? Satisfying Time says take notes. But notes about what? And Hung says, well, about 4 or 5 options. Choose the easiest one. Yeah, Diego, right, of course. Choose the object, right? So you can't just start writing. Sometimes I think students just quickly pick any old object that they own and think, hey, that'll work, but it's not a good idea. So think of at least 3 options for your answer and choose one that is both unique and easy to talk about. That right there in step 2 can be the trick or the tip to save you a full band score in your speaking. Okay? When students do a good job in Q Card Part 2, they're much more confident in Part 3. I've noticed that. And also they connect better with Part 3. So choosing the right answer for Part 2 Q Card is a critical part of your speaking score, overall score. Okay, so Lovepreet Singh says, how about a guitar? Yep. Now, careful. Lovepreet Singh, do you have a guitar? Do you play the guitar? Roshni says motorcycle. Roshni Kunte. Roshni, do you have a motorcycle? Do you use the motorcycle? Okay. Pachu says computer. Pachu, I would not choose a computer for this one. Or a laptop. Why would I not choose a computer or a laptop? So, computer or laptop, it's probably the first 1 or 2 ideas that come to mind. Somebody with a mobile phone. So these are the ones that I wouldn't choose. So I would not choose this one. I would not choose this one. Why? Why not? Hung says camera. It's better. Okay. Alvina says car. I probably wouldn't choose car either. Okay. Why wouldn't I choose those ones? Cigar says they're too general. Pachu, yeah. So Pachu says probably many students choose these. So in the IELTS exam with this cue card, probably a lot of students would choose computer and a lot of students would choose mobile phone. Laptop is the same. Okay, these are very similar. So these are very popular choices. It's not a good idea. Remember what I just said. Okay, so it should be unique and easy to talk about. Okay, unique and easy to talk about. All right. So Hung is giving us another one. He says, how about a drone? All right. Okay. Or drums. Musical instruments are good. Viral says pen. Drums. Okay. Smit Gohel says shoes, maybe not. Sumit says Photoshop. Photoshop is a piece of software. It's not truly an object. Okay. All right. Remember, it's an object that you own. Lean Ahmed says virtual glasses. Virtual reality glasses. Knife. By Lovepreet. All right. Good. So we have lots now. So I wouldn't choose computer. I wouldn't choose laptop. I wouldn't choose mobile. They're very tricky. I might not choose camera. So here, just remember this for the future. I wouldn't choose computer or mobile phone because many students will talk about this and it is not unique. Therefore, it makes it more difficult to get a high band score. Okay? And I would not choose camera because why do you think I wouldn't choose camera necessarily? Because there are many technical words that I may not know. If you know it, choose it, okay? Like shutter speed, aperture. I don't even know how to spell that word. I think it's maybe two P's. Nope. Aperture, focal length. Okay. So if you don't know those words, don't talk about the camera. If you do have this vocabulary, great, talk about it. I'll be honest with you, I use a lot of cameras in my company and in my life, and still I don't even know all the technical words about the camera. So be very, very careful. Okay? Alvina, a DSLR camera can require quite a bit of training, but it can be very difficult to explain that in English. Okay? So I wouldn't choose ideas or objects that are not unique, and I wouldn't choose objects that are difficult to talk about. That's why I said to you, step 2 is think of at least 3 or 4 options for your answer and choose one that is both unique and easy to talk about. Okay? So, which of these objects, guitar, motorcycle, computer, laptop, phone, camera, car, drone, pen, drums, virtual reality, glasses, knife, Which one do you think is the easiest one to talk about that needs training to use? So Kashif says maybe a motorcycle. Sevgi says pen's probably really easy to talk about. Okay. Sanjita says maybe a pen. Yeah, we did one before, a different part 2 speaking, where we talked about a knife. And so let's choose pen. But pen and knife are actually 2 fairly good choices. A bicycle could be a good choice as well. Sukrab D. Jurayev. A drone might be okay. Yeah, the drone, even though it has technical parts, a lot of its components are fairly easy to talk about. So the controller, the drone, the camera, the screen, flying. Okay, so it's a little bit easier. So knife, drone, and pen are probably your best choices here. Let's talk about the pen. So we decide on pen. Let's talk about a pen. Okay? And it's good because we own the pen. Most of us own a pen. So it's easy to talk about. We've owned it all our lives. We know lots about it. Okay? All right, and it's a good answer. So now we've decided on the pen. Okay, now it's an object that you own, so you might want to say a little bit more than just pen. You might want to give it a little bit of clarity. All right, so now again, you look at the questions and you think of some points for each of these. Okay, so what is a pen? Okay, pen. What? Okay, you don't write that down, but you write a couple of points about it. So, what is the pen? What is a pen? Chopstick, Sylvia, would be a good one too. Okay, chopstick is a good choice. Sylvia, chopstick is a good choice. If that's what you chose, that would be a good one, okay? So even though it's popular, many people probably wouldn't talk about it. So, okay, it is a ballpoint pen used for writing. Writing tool, okay? Keep it simple. So it's a writing tool. Yeah, there you go. Hiba Ahmed says it's a writing tool. Absolutely. What does it need? Mohammed, absolutely a pen needs training. I bet if you find a person who doesn't know how to write with a pen, and you give them a pen and tell them, here, write a message, they will not know what to do. Okay? Reba says it's a pointed object filled with color used for writing. Yeah, so has ink, okay? Used to display characters, letters, pictures on paper. Sure. Okay. Amar Al-Hajj, very good. A pen is a writing instrument. We definitely say that it's a writing instrument. It's a traditional tool for writing. It's not a method, Azmat. It's not a method of writing. Okay, so we have a couple of points. So, okay, it's a writing tool that has ink. It displays characters, pictures on paper. Button on the back. Okay. Where did you get it from? So where did you get your pen from? And there's different kinds of pens, absolutely, Sue 4121. So if you can say that my fountain pen or my ballpoint pen, if you talk about a fountain pen, that's even more fancy, absolutely. Hunter Mahato, very good, stationery. So the specific store where you get it from is a stationery store. Many English speakers know that word. Okay. Or another way you will often hear this in North America, this is just for your knowledge, is an office supply store. Okay, good. So there you go. Now you have its origin, right? So we have its what it looks like. Now we have its origin. It's from a stationery store. What is it used for? It could be a gift from someone. You might have borrowed it from somebody. What is it used for? So here we have, okay, it's used to display characters, letters on paper, but in more detail, what is it used for? Hunter says writing stuff. Don't say stuff, Hunter. Always use a better word. So writing information, right? What are you actually doing? You're recording ideas, right? So those are your notes there. All right. Good. We're moving along. Now, why is it important to you? What is its importance? So you can use it for writing down information, recording ideas. Why is it important for you? To learn, for signatures, sure, sentimental value. To communicate, right? Keep it simple. Keep your ideas simple to communicate. Alvina says to express words on paper. So it needs paper or some kind of a writing medium, right? Okay, so here I have my what? I have my origin, I have my function, I have my value, so it's importance. Now, I want to consider the questions as well, right? So, this question is very important on the card, the last one. Okay, so what kind of training does it need, and what is the best place to learn the skill? So a couple of points on that very quickly. Don't forget about that. Okay, Deep T Jimmy, very good. You can use it for math or for calculation as well, for accounting, right? So, Pachu, absolutely. That's funny that many students are surprised that a pen needs training to use. It absolutely does. Just give a 2-year-old a pen and see what happens to your house and your walls. Actually, I don't recommend that because you're going to say that it was my fault. But yeah, no, definitely a pen needs training to use. Used incorrectly, it can cause damage and harm. Okay, so what kind of training does it need? Lazy programmer, holding it properly at the proper angle. Okay, yeah. And I have some other notes coming up there as well. Training in primary school. All right. So, needs to be held correctly at the right angle. Okay. Needs practical training, absolutely, STEK, so practical training. Get it at school. Where else? Did anybody say parents? Parents should help to teach their children how to, right? Yeah, finger dexterity. From tutors, okay. Needs hand-eye coordination. What else does it need? Did anybody say time? I think it takes a fair bit of time to get good with a pen. All right, so we have lots of good information, all right? So in your 1 minute preparation time, students, when you get this cue card, ideally, in a perfect world, when you're going for those really high band scores like band 7, 8, 9, you're able to go through these steps in that 1 minute. So you're able to go, okay, read the card carefully. So let me show you this concept of 1 minute preparation, okay? So here we go. Let's see the time. The time right now in the video for this class is 30 minutes and 20 seconds. Okay, so talk about an object that you own which needs training to use. What is this object? What do you use it for? Where do you get it? What kind of training does it need? What is the best place to learn this skill? Okay, my note paper is in front of me. It's an object. I have to talk about the appearance, its function, its origin, and its importance. All right, so what are objects that I own that need training? Okay, guitar, camera, computer, maybe a pen, maybe a basketball. Which one's the easiest one for me to talk about? Okay, let's use pen. I have a couple of really nice pens. I collect them. I have a gold pen. I have a really nice Parker pen. So what is a pen? It's a writing tool. It has ink. It has a button on the back. I have a really nice black, thick pen made by Parker. It's a quality, heavy pen made of metal. It needs paper. I use it for signatures. Of course, I'm writing down some of this, okay? And I write down my first sentence as well. So that was my 1 minute preparation time, and I'm almost exactly there, okay? So almost exactly there, and if you look at the time of the video, okay? So that's kind of the system of this, okay? So you're going nice and smooth. We have one step left here. Always think about your first sentence that you're going to say. So when the examiner says, okay, your 1 minute preparation time is up, right away you can start speaking, okay? So let's come up with our first sentence. That's your third step for today. So think about your first sentence. So you can start as soon as the examiner says your 1 minute preparation time is up. Please begin speaking. Okay? So as soon as the examiner says that, you have to be ready to go. Not 10 or 20 seconds later. Okay? So what is your first sentence? What is your first sentence? Way too many students start late. They waste their first 10, 20 seconds, and the examiner is counting. Okay? In real life, that would be okay. On the IELTS exam, it's not. So Hung says, I want to talk about when I have a memory since I was a child, and an essential object I have learned is a pen. Hung, too complicated and with many mistakes. Keep it simpler without any mistakes. Okay? Sukrab Djarive says, well, the object that I'm going to explain to you is a pen. Okay. Nope, still not accurate enough, Sukrab. Okay. Viral says, thank you for giving me time. That's completely wasting my time, Viral Video. Of course I'm giving you the time. You paid $200 and something for the exam to sit here, so somebody's paying me to give you my time, so you don't have to thank me for that, although it's nice and kind of you. It's not a good first sentence. Pachu says, the object I'd like to talk about that I own is a pen. Much better, Pachu. Very good. Okay. Asmat says, the thing I would like to talk about is a pen, which I own and takes skill to use. Alvina says, it's impossible to imagine our life without a pen. Alvina, it's too general. Students, here's a hint or a tip that will really help you. A lot of you so far that I'm reading, and this is, don't take me the wrong way. This is not to badger you, but a lot of your first sentences, if I'm your examiner, you're losing half a band score right away. Okay, right away, you're losing half a band score. Okay? Why? Because you're not answering my question directly, or you're not answering the cue card question directly. Talk about an object that you own which needs training to use. Always think about that first topic sentence to give a clear answer. Okay? We're not talking about pens in general. All right? If I think about this sentence here, then the clear first sentence is, I have a beautiful pen which requires a fair bit of training to use. That would be your band 9 start. Okay? Kirti, Dagar, very good. That's a strong high band start. The object that I own and needs training is a pen. Okay, very good, Kirti. So this is Kirti's response. Kirti's the first one I read that gets a band 9 start. Okay? The object that I own, which also needs a fair amount of training to use well, is my ballpoint pen. Okay? So that is a band 9 start. Okay, you need to show the examiner that you're answering the question specifically, exactly, directly. Okay, that's your start to a high band score. If you use this sentence for your first sentence, there's a much better chance that you're going to get a good score for your speaking. Okay, all right, how should I continue? So I have notes. I know what I need to do. What sentence comes after this? So again, this is a speaking class, students, so nice and loud. Speak, speak, speak. Repeat, repeat. Okay. So the object that I own, which also needs a fair amount of training to use well, is my ballpoint pen. Okay. Satisfying time says talk about its appearance. Sure. So either the appearance or where I got it from, right? So I can talk about its origin and then describe what it looks like. Sure. So Kashif Javed Lone says, actually, it was a gift from my father last year after I graduated university with a degree in literature. Okay, so I took your statement there, Kashif, and I added a little bit to it to make it more detailed. Always think about details. So it was a gift from my father when? Last year, after I graduated university with a degree in literature. When I tell you this sentence, students, so when I say actually it was a gift from my father last year after I graduated university with a degree in literature, what is your question? This is a great way to practice your part 2 speaking at home, is think about what your listener, what your audience would be thinking here, okay? So actually it was a gift from my father last year after I graduated university with a degree in literature. What's the audience question here? What do you think your listener is asking themselves if they can have a conversation with you? Yep, Sue, that would be another good way to approach it. You say, so some of you are saying when, Amina, but I already said when. It's last year. Okay. Tyender says maybe the use. Yellow Star, absolutely. Yellow Star says, are you still using the pen you got last year? Absolutely. If it's a quality pen, oh, certainly. I have a couple of pens from 10, 20 years ago that I still use. One of them is a gold pen, of course. Okay. Diego Bojorquez would ask, yeah, what does it look like? I mean, if it's a gift from your father for graduation, it's obviously not just a simple pen, right? Most listeners would agree here that most of us would be thinking, okay, this has to be kind of a special pen, right? So your listener is probably thinking, wow, okay, so this is kind of a special pen. Why did he gift it? And what does it look like? Okay, if I'm your listener, if I'm your examiner, that would be my logical question. Okay? Yeah, Hung, you're asking very similarly to me. So what's so special about this? I mean, it's most likely not just a simple blue plastic pen, I'm guessing, right? So describe it, okay? So give me the answers for that. So why did he gift it to you? So he gave it to me to express that he's proud of my achievement and to write some great novels in the future. Okay? Again, I just said that I got a degree in literature. So nice and fluent. He gave it to me to express that he's proud of my achievement and to write some great novels in the future. That's why he gave it to me. What does it look like? Okay? Let's not go too far off topic, Mohammed. So you're Mohammed Farak, you're saying, I was really happy when I got it. It reminds me of success and the good relationship I have with my father. That's fine, but careful not to go too far down that rabbit hole. Okay? Ansar Shamimi says it has a gold-plated coating and a very smooth texture with a logo. Okay, sure. It is a gold-plated Cartier pen with a rotating crown. Okay, I'm getting a little bit fancy here. Okay, so it is a gold-plated Cartier pen with a rotating crown. So it's a nice, luxurious pen. Hiba Ahmed says, it is a thin gold pen that looks very elegant. Okay, great. So we have some good descriptions. Hiba, that's great. That's a beautiful description. It's different than mine. Sure. Kashif says it's made with 16 karat gold with a diamond trademark on it. Kashif, very good. Okay, so obviously it's a luxurious, elegant pen. Fantastic. So we have its description. We have what it looks like. Okay. All right, so now we keep going. We have to be careful not to go off topic. So we very clearly have talked about what is this object. So what is this object? Okay, so now we need to make sure to talk about the other points, the other questions. So what should I write next? Okay, and I see lots of good descriptions now of what it looks like or what it is. Rahul with its size as well. It's a 0.5 millimeter ballpoint with a button on the back and a Parker logo. Very good. Okay, so let's keep going. Sue says, what do you use it for? So what do I use it for? Okay, give me some information on that. What do I use this pen for? Okay. When do I use it? Very good, Manpreet. Okay, so give me that. When do I use it? What do I use it for? I'm going to write that down as well. So All right, that's what I wrote. So I use it every day, either for writing in my diary at night before going to bed, or in the morning when I'm taking notes for my latest novel ideas. Okay? Parminda Shanbedi, very good. I use it to write my exams since I believe it brings me luck. Very good, Parmita. That's a great answer, okay? Kashif Javed says, I use it to write research articles during my master's training or my higher degree. Very good, okay? Manpreet says, this pen has a very good grip, therefore I don't feel tired after hours of using it in university. Sure, okay? Those are all some great comments. Excellent. All right. Now let's not forget about the main components of this cue card question. It's very important to look at the cue card in the 2 minutes. Make sure you don't forget some key elements, okay? So what kind of training does it need, and what is the best place to learn this skill, okay? Use your notes, okay? So it needs to be held correctly. It needs to be held at the right angle. It needs hand-eye coordination and time to master using it well. Okay, so all of those elements have to come together. Where can you get this skill from? From school, from parents, from tutors, and from practice. Okay? Sundar Akira, I love that answer. So Sundar is saying, I use it daily to practice for the IELTS writing tasks. Okay, good. Why not? Use that real-world brilliance. Okay. Pawan Boparai, Pawan says, the best place to master using it is in school. Okay, good. So make sure to answer all questions. Okay. To use this pen well, as I have learned, it requires hand-eye coordination. The pen must be held correctly at the correct angle. I need to apply the right amount of pressure on the paper to create beautiful, smooth, flowing handwriting. Mastering penmanship demands hundreds of hours of practice, which is best learnt in school. As well, it can be fine-tuned through tutoring and parental guidance. Okay? There we go. So that's about it. Now maybe just wrap it up. Okay? All right. Manpreet says the main thing about this pen is that it is not so easy to use. It requires a significant amount of time and energy to master. Ajita, penmanship is the idea of writing well. Okay, writing well. For many of those who watched the last class that we had with the members, you're probably realizing, wow, okay, there's a lot of connection here between this class and the class that we had 90 minutes ago, right? I'm thinking about Hung and a couple of our members that I know saw that class. Pachu, I know you join in on lots of those classes as well. So we're always connecting information between and among our classes. It's more effective for learning. Okay? All right. Now I want to wrap it up. Therefore, My gold Cartier is certainly an object of great value in my possession, which needs training to be proficient at. Okay? All right. There we have it. So, let's read it, make sure it makes sense, fits within the 2 minutes. Here is the original cue card, part 2. Talk about an object that you own, which needs training to use. You should say, what is the object? What do you use it for? Where did you get it? What kind of training does it need? And what is the best place to learn this skill? We go through our 1 minute, we focus, we choose an easy, unique answer, and we end up with, here we go. Repeat after me, students, repeat after me. The object that I own, which also needs a fair amount of training to use well, is my ballpoint pen. Actually, it was a gift from my father last year after I graduated university with a degree in literature. He gave it to me to express that he's proud of my achievements and to write some great novels in the future. It is a gold-plated Cartier pen with a rotating crown. I use it every day, either for writing in my diary at night before going to bed, or in the morning when I'm taking notes for my latest novel ideas. To use this pen well, as I have learned, it requires hand-eye coordination. The pen must be held correctly at the right angle. I need to apply the right amount of pressure on the paper to create beautiful, smooth flowing handwriting. Mastering penmanship demands hundreds of hours of practice, which is best learnt in school. As well, it can be fine-tuned through tutoring and parental guidance. Therefore, my gold Cartier is a certain object of great value in my possession, which needs training to be proficient at. Okay. Examiner will know that you're done. That's roughly 2 minutes, and you're good to go. All right. Any questions about Part 2 cue card, students? Any questions about the Part 2 cue card? That's definitely a band 9 response. If some of you are wondering what band score would you get for that, you'd get a band 9 if you said that nice and smooth and fluent. Again, remember your 1 minute preparation time. Hi, Manisha. Long time no see or long time no hear. I hope life is treating you well, Manisha. Heba, you're asking me about the members chat. You should see the join button beside the subscribe button, Heba. If you don't, just send me an email and I'll try to help you out. There's a couple ways that you can become a member if you don't see the join button. Send me an email to adrian@aehelp.com, okay? What are you up to these days, Manisha? Manisha is one of our longest standing members, as you can see from her silver character. Tynder Singh says, do we need to use a lot of lexical resource or intense vocabulary? Tynder, lexical resource, which is the same as rich vocabulary, is important, but most important is to have a clear, specific answer with good structure. It's more important than simply using a lot of words. Oh, Manisha, that's great. You're working as a teacher. Fantastic. By the way, for our students and our viewers, Manisha passed her IELTS exam with flying colors. I think band 7.5, something like that, Manisha, right? Sundar Akira, I'll try to find your question. Okay, if I can find it, I'll respond. I don't see it, Sundar, your question, so maybe send it again. I just whipped through a whole bunch of comments, but I didn't see it there. Okay. Lean Ahmed, are you a member on the YouTube channel or on our website? That we have two types of membership. One is on our websites. Those are our premium courses. And another type of membership is on YouTube. That's through Google, right? Yeah, Manisha, 7. I remembered you got a pretty good score for sure. Overall 7 is very good. It literally is defined as a good user of English. So very proud of your score, Manisha. Amarjeet, if your debit card doesn't work for the full course, try to use it through PayPal, through the PayPal option, not through the credit card option. Okay? There are some other options too. Amarjeet, just send me an email and I'll try to help you out. All right? Lean, same thing. When you're registered in the website, there's the demo version and the full course version. Okay? Pooja, Gurung, more examples, please. We provide lots of examples throughout the week. There's tons more on the website, so just keep tuning in. We'll keep throwing examples out there. Keep look through the channel, Pooja, as well. You'll find lots of videos on the channel, not just live sessions like this, but actual HD videos also. Okay. Manpreet is asking, is it good to copy this answer? Manpreet, for practice, yes, but in the real IELTS exam, you should develop your own original answers. So I'm showing you how to fish. I'm not just giving you fish. If you give the examiner old fish that you took from a teacher or from a textbook, it's going to be a smelly old rotten fish and you'll get a bad band score. You have to catch fish while you're doing your speaking and give the examiner a nice big fresh fish, and then they'll give you a high band score. I hope my metaphor made sense to the students there with the fishing. Okay. All right, students. Again, I'm always happy to answer more questions. Here is my email, adrian@aehelp.com. Remember, you'll find lots of my teaching and wonderful IELTS materials on our websites. This is the academic. We actually have a new app coming out for this website, which fully integrates the app and the website. It's going to be the most advanced IELTS online training system in the world for now. That's coming out in August. And then shortly after for general IELTS as well. Click that red button to join. So that's it for today. Make sure to practice and keep up the good work. You're all very, very smart, intelligent people. Believe in yourselves and you will achieve greatness. Bye for now, everyone. Have a great rest of your day.